we're here to meet the candidate forum, and here's this is Dale Poynter. He is running the at-large.
Correct.
And for City Council. And so we have just a few questions for Dale, just to have him let everybody get to know you.
Sure.
Okay. So Dale, give us a little background of, you know, what you've done and why you want to run for City Council.
Right. Well, as you may know, I ran last year.
Okay.
When there were 12 and then 10 candidates running for 5 positions.
Okay.
When this seat opened up, I decided that I would run once again for the same reasons. I just really think there need to be some changes on city councils just to broaden out the experience level a little more balance, I think, to it. I'm an architect, work here in town, property owner, husband, father. Jane and I moved here to Eau Claire 30 years ago for me to take a job primarily. And since then, yeah, we've raised 3 boys and are now empty nesters. So it's all good. So I don't have, you know, evenings are no longer Boy Scouts and Taekwondo and stuff. I have time available for some other meetings, I suppose.
Okay. Tell me, let the people know a little bit about the things that are most important to you in coming to the City Council, and just some things that you'd like to see directionally for it to go.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to get caught up too much in minutiae and details, but I think just generally what I offer is, and this is, I'm running on principled common sense, and that seems somehow quaint or whatever, but I think common sense is somewhat unusual, and it really just means the ability to take in information and make, you know, rational decisions, understanding about things. I feel like the direction in our city council is maybe a little bit extreme in terms of just kind of pressing for social justice and whatnot, and maybe not paying attention always to police, fire, some of the security and things that I really think city government particularly, you know, exists to protect and preserve people's rights in their community and their property, and I think we've kind of gone off from there a little bit.
Being that you are a business owner and everything else, are there things that you see within the city that need to be, that you are primarily in general wanting to see grow?
Well, I really appreciate and enjoy what has happened, you know, with Eau Claire in the last 20 years. Like I said, we moved here 30 years ago, and at that time, I mean, it was a lovely little community and obviously a beautiful area. But I remember even at that time, the thing that really seemed a negative to me is that the city had turned its back on the 2 rivers that ran through it. You know, it was like, it was just dumpsters and parking lots and whatnot. And so the change, the transformation that's taken place, particularly in the last 15, 20 years, has really been tremendous. And I'm glad for that. And I'm grateful to have been a small part of it too with our firm and all. But I think we need to be careful about going too quickly. And I think there are some things, honestly, I need to do some more studying on my own about tax incremental districts and whatnot. I think the city's maybe overextending its use of those particularly, and maybe not really following all the rules that are to go along with that. So that's kind of an interesting deal. But I'm glad to see the development that we've had, and I hope that it obviously does contribute to continued growth business-wise and everything else in downtown particularly.
You know, and like I said, this is kind of the thing for people to get to know you. And one of the biggest things I think, you know, when anybody runs for an office is that they do have, you know, like what I'm asking you is not for a lot of detail, but in general, what are the top 3 things that you see that you want to be able to propose or make a difference in the city council?
As far as specific things?
You know, your major topics that you feel you would be pushing for.
Well, again, I think that returning city government to be really careful about spending, responsible economically. I don't think that having debt in your budget, I don't think it's fair to call it a balanced budget. I don't think anybody, individual or otherwise, can spend more than they make and have that be a long-term solution. I think making hard decisions is probably the hardest part of any civic endeavor, and particularly government. Making those hard decisions instead of just kicking the can down the road is vital. And I believe in making decisions based on concrete information, not feelings and subjective social changes and things.
That's good. I'm just about done here, so I wanted to make sure that you have an opportunity to let the constituents know what it is that you're bringing and kind of your final pitch to them.
Right.
Hey.
Right. Well, I have to work on a polished pitch. My goal is not to be a politician so much, but I am grateful for the opportunity. I think if people just go to my website, dalepoynter.com, they'll find out about a lot of things about me. Again, common sense, fiscal responsibility, personal responsibility, limited government. Those are the kinds of things that I would be, those are the foundations that would be a part of my decision making and being a part of government.
That's great. We've been speaking with Dale Poynter. He is running for the at-large position. And as usual, let's make sure that everybody gets out and votes.
Definitely.
Nice to meet you, and thank you so much.
You.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.